obviously the most tragic for Port Adelaide, and I guess, you know, for people who don't like seeing good players hurt, is Matthew Primus. And sadly, yet another bad bounce resulting in a ruckman having to overextend and probably contributing a bit to what happened. Now, just the latest on this is they are still about 95% certain he'll need a reconstruction, but he still hasn't actually consulted the surgeon. He won't be doing that till tomorrow, but he's gone for the year, no doubt about that, and very important player for him. So
you couldn't blame the ground in that instance, could you, Rohan? I mean, it didn't look like it was the ground.
Oh, no.
It was more the bounce,
yeah,
don't you think? That,
yep, absolutely.
It's come off skew and he's had to stretch and come down propped on that leg.
Stan, I think that's something we'll talk about a bit later on. We've got Mark Williams, Port Power coach, but I'm starting to think there's a good argument for umpires at centre square situations to throw the ball up so that both ruckmen get an even go at it, because Wren and Primus have both been injured having to go across the centre circle to get to bad bounces.
I think a reasonable point on that too is, and Peter Schwab himself might have said this, I think, that football umpiring is about the only sort of refereeing where you need a physical ball skill to be able to adjudicate, you know, and so who knows how many great umpires we're shutting out because they can't bounce the thing 10 feet in the air.
Yeah, look,
Mark, obviously that victory would have been tempered a little by the news about Matty Primus. Can you tell us exactly where that's at now? And I mean, obviously he was very upset, seemed to be in tears. Just how devastated was he by what happened?
Yeah, he's pretty upset. I think I would be too if I was a player having that to me, you know, in the prime of my my career. And you know, he's just gone through probably 6 weeks of missing with a thumb injury, so he can just see that the disappointment of missing the season staring him right in the face. He's an outstanding player. If anyone knows him on the track, he works as hard as anyone, and you know. I suppose when he came from Fitzroy to us, he really couldn't kick, and I think he's really improved and worked on his kicking, and you know, he's an outstanding leader for us as well. As I said, he works hard on the track. In the pre-season, he leads most of the different events, whether it's on the bike or in the pool or on the running track. So we certainly will miss him, but you know, to his credit, he'll get back up there, and I'm sure he'll come back as big as he was before.
Mark, excuse me for interrupting there, but we were looking at some examples of the players doing their knees there, and we saw Primus having to cross the centre circle, result of a bad bounce, and Wren was the same earlier this season. Do you have an opinion on whether the umpire should throw the ball up or bounce it at the centre?
As an old centreman, I've always thought the idea of throwing it up and giving everyone a fair chance is, you know, it always frustrated me that the ball seemed to be bouncing and not giving you even 50% chance of having your ruckman touch the ball. But, you know, I have a view that, you know, it's my view, but in the past, maybe the centre squares used to be wet and maybe muddy, and perhaps if a player didn't come down particularly straight, or you know, the ball bounced differently, maybe the player would go up and slip over. But because the pristine view that is presented to all the supporters and the TV, that perhaps that may be influencing the you know, what happens to the ruckman